Unit 3, Level 3, Reading. We're going to take a look at Reading 1. Okay, so we're looking at page 52, Reading 1, Cars That Think. You are going to read an article from an automotive magazine about driverless cars. Use the article to gather information and ideas for your unit assignment. Preview the reading. So exercise A, which is the preview. Read the title and first sentence of each paragraph in the article. What is the article's main purpose? Check your answer. So what you will do in this exercise, so it says read the title and first sentence of each paragraph. You will read the title and first sentence of each paragraph in the article. What is the article's main purpose? So you're going to read the three options that they give you, and then you are going to put a check in the correct box. Exercise B, quick write. Would you feel comfortable in a driverless car? Why or why not? Write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. Be sure to use this section for your unit assignment. So in this particular exercise, they ask the question, would you feel comfortable in a driverless car? So remember, this is based on your opinion, why or why not. So if you say yes, you need to write why. If you say no, you need to write why not. So you need to write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. And then it says be sure to use this section for your unit assignment. So you are going to use this section for your unit assignment. Exercise C, vocabulary. It says check the words you know, then work with a partner to locate each word in the reading. Use clues to help define the words you don't know. Check your definitions in the dictionary. Right, so basically what you need to do in exercise C, which is the vocabulary, you need to check the words you know. So we're going to go through each word. Benefit, data, limitation, manufacturer, obey, obstacle, occur, respond, and sense. And as you can see next to each word, they have given you in brackets a letter that tells you whether the word is a noun or a verb, right? So basically, firstly, you're gonna check the words you know, then work with a partner. So you do not have to work with a partner. You can just go through the reading and you can look for the words. It says use clues to help define the words you don't know. So you're gonna look for anything that could be a sentence or any group of sentences that could link the word. For example, you can take the word benefit, right, the first word, and you go through the reading and you look at any sentences that link to the word. Check your definitions in the dictionary. So checking your definitions afterwards will help you to better understand the vocabulary and how to use it in making sentences. So we're going to turn over now to the next page. Work with the reading, exercise A, page 53. Read the article and gather information about how technology has affected our lives. So you are going to read this reading and get your information from this reading. Let's turn over to the next page, page 54. So as you can see the top of the page, the reading continues. We will now look at exercise B, vocabulary. Complete each sentence with the vocabulary from reading 1. So once again, the reading on the previous page, you are going to use this vocabulary which we've already gone through. The vocabulary is benefit, data, limitation, manufacturer, obey, obstacle, occur, respond, sense. So you are going to take this vocabulary and you are going to fill in the blanks to complete this exercise. And that completes the page. Let's turn over to page 55. Right, so page 55, the exercise continues up until number 9. We will now continue to exercise C. It says go online for more practice with the vocabulary. So if you have a Q Skills account, you can go online and you can practice with the vocabulary. Exercise D, read the sentences, then number them in the order that the ideas appear in the article. So the first thing you are going to do in exercise D, you are going to read the sentences from A to E. It says then number them in the order that the ideas appear in the article. So these sentences have to go in a certain order, and you get that order from going through reading 1. So you are going to go through reading 1, and then you are going to compare these sentences and put a number next to each order. Like for example, A could be number 2, A could be number 3, right? So you're going to put a number next to each alphabet. Exercise E, circle the main idea of the article. So in order to complete this exercise, you need to read each one that they have given you. They have given you A, B, C, and D. You need to read each sentence, and then it says circle the main idea of the article. So what is the main idea? The main idea is what the article is about, right? So you are going to put a circle next to which answer you feel is the main idea. Let us turn over to page 56. Right, I'm going to look at exercise F at the top of page 56. It says answer the questions, write the paragraph number where the answer is found. Then discuss your answers with a partner. Now you do not have to discuss it with a partner, you can just compare your answers with reading 1. So the first question they have given you, number 1, how would driverless cars save fuel? So the answer is taken from paragraph number 4, and then the answer is they can be lighter because they are less likely to crash, right? So as you can see in this particular exercise, it says answer the questions, write the paragraph number where the answer is found, then discuss your answers with a partner. Okay, so basically the first thing you need to do in this exercise, you need to read the question. You need to decide from which paragraph number does your answer come from, and then you write your answer in the line provided. That is how you complete exercise F. So let us move on to exercise G. Read the statements, write F for fact or O for opinion. So you are going to read all of these statements. If you feel it is a fact, you are going to write F. If you feel it is just an opinion, then you are going to write O. Let us turn over to page 57. Exercise H. Complete the graphic organizer using your own words. Identify the advantages and disadvantages of driverless cars. Write the paragraph number where you find your answer. Right, so in this particular exercise, exercise H, it says complete the graphic organizer. So this is the graphic organizer, both the columns, using your own words. Identify the advantages and disadvantages of driverless cars. So once again, you will get this information from reading 1. Write the paragraph number where you find your answer. So let's look at number 1, advantages of driverless cars. This is the example they have given you. Right, so the advantage is that they can help people stay safe. The paragraph we got this answer from is paragraph 4, so you write 4 over here. Number 1, disadvantages of driverless cars. So the disadvantage that they provide, they can't anticipate unexpected things like people can. And then you will write the paragraph number over here. Number 2, advantages of driverless cars. You will write the advantage over here. you will write the paragraph number that you found your answer from, and you will do the same for the rest of the columns that are provided. Let us move on to exercise I. It says go online to read the Superbus and check your comprehension. So they have provided a reading for you online on your QSkills account. You can go online to read the Superbus and check your comprehension. Right, below that, write what you think. Exercise A, discuss these questions in a group. Now, if you cannot discuss these questions in a group, it's perfectly fine. You can just read each question and you can think about your answer. Let's go through the questions. Number 1, why do you think car companies want to make driverless cars? Number 2, compare and evaluate the advantages and disadvantages of driverless cars. Would you consider buying a driverless car? Why or why not? Alright, so that's number 1, that's number 2. Then exercise B, choose one question and write a paragraph in response. Look back at your quick write on page 52 as you think about what you learned. So you are going to write, you are going to choose one question and then you are going to write a paragraph in response. Let's look at the answer key to use as an example. So write what you think. Exercise A, B, answers page 57. Answers will vary, possible answers. So these are possible answers for number 1 and number 2. Number 1, the possible answer they give: car companies want to make driverless cars because they may be safer than human drivers. Drivers sometimes make bad decisions, but a driverless car would use accurate data to make the right decisions. Driverless cars might also save car manufacturers money because the cars wouldn't crash as often. Manufacturers could build lighter cars with fewer safety features. Car companies could make a lot of money if they could convince people to get rid of their old cars and buy new expensive driverless cars. So that is obviously possible answers for number 1 and number 2. Your answers can be similar. Right, let us turn over to page 58. We are going to take a look at your reading skill. Right, so the reading skill is taking notes. Taking notes while you are reading will help you become a more active reader. To take notes, write on the text and next to the text. Your notes should help you identify important ideas. You should underline or highlight topics and main ideas. Underline supporting details and the most important words and phrases. Focus on content words like nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Summarize the main idea of each paragraph in the margin. Don't use complete sentences. Reviewing your notes can help you remember important concepts. Use your notes to prepare for a class or an exam. Okay, we're going to move on to exercise A. Read the second paragraph of reading 1 below. Look at the student's notes in blue. Then discuss the questions with a partner. So obviously you do not have to discuss with a partner. You can simply read the notes that are underlined in blue, and then you can compare your opinion to the reading 1. Alright, so it says read the second paragraph of reading 1 below. So this is the second paragraph of reading 1. Look at the student's notes in blue. So you are going to focus in what the student has underlined in blue, and then you are going to think about your answers in the questions that are provided. So number 1, what types of words did the student underline? So immediately you are going to look at the types of words that the student underlined, and you're going to write your answer over here. Number 2, look at the words and ideas the student did not underline. Why are they less important? So why do you think the words that are not underlined are less important, right? You're going to write your answer over here. Number 3, look at the note in the margin. What does the note summarize? So this is the note in the margin. The note says smart cars, safer driving. What does it mean? What does it summarize, right? Number 4, what is the main idea of the paragraph and how do you know? So to get the main idea of the paragraph, you are going to read the paragraph. You're going to read at the first few lines. That should give you an idea of the paragraph. And how do you know? How do you know the main idea of the paragraph? So let us turn over to page 59. Right, so we are going to look at reading number 2. Right, so the name of reading number 2, are tablets the answer? It says you are going to read an article from an online newspaper about using tablet computers in public schools. Use the article to gather information and ideas for your unit assignment. So exercise A, which is the preview the reading. Read the title and look at the photographs. Then read the first sentence of each paragraph. Why do you think more schools want children to use tablets in the classroom? Check your answer. So whichever answer that you feel is the correct answer from the reading, you are going to put a check in the block, whichever answer that you feel. Exercise B, quick write. Do you think computers help children learn better? Why or why not? Write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. Be sure to use this section for your unit assignment. So basically what you are going to do, you are going to write your opinion, right? Do you think computers help children learn better? Why or why not? If you feel that the answer is yes, you're going to write why. If you feel the answer is no, you're going to write why not. And you're going to write for 5 to 10 minutes in response. Be sure to use the section for your unit assignment. Right below that, exercise C, vocabulary. Work with a partner to find the words in the reading. Circle clues in the text that help you understand the meaning of each word. Then use a dictionary to define any unknown words. So this is the vocabulary that they provide. The words that they provide: adapt, digital, discover, eventually, experiment, feedback, interactive, monitor, reliable, revolutionize. And next to the vocab, they have put a letter in brackets to tell you whether it is a verb, adjective, adverb, or noun, right? Let us now turn over to page 60. Right, so on page 60, you will find the reading. Read the article and gather information about how technology has affected our lives, right? So the name of the reading is Are Tablets the Answer? This is where you will get all of your information from. The reading starts on page 60 and continues on page 61. Let us turn over to page 62. So on page 62, you will find your first exercise. Here are some words from reading 1. Read the sentences, then match each bold word with its definition below. Right, so basically in this exercise you need to read the entire sentence and you need to focus on the bold word. For example, number 1, the bold word is digital, right? So it says here are some words from reading 1. So these words that are in bold are taken from reading 1. Read the sentences, then match each bold word with its definition below. Right, so these are the bold words. These are the definitions that they have provided. So for example, if you feel number one is A, for example, you can write A next to number one, right? That is just an example. That is how you will complete this exercise. Let us turn over to page 63. At the top of page 63, exercise C, go online for more practice with the vocabulary. Exercise D, take notes on the main ideas of each paragraph in reading 2. Then write the number of the paragraph from the reading that each statement summarizes. Right, so let's read this instruction one more time. It says take notes on the main ideas of each paragraph in reading 2. So you need to take notes on the main ideas of each paragraph in reading 2. Then write the number of the paragraph from the reading that each statement summarizes. So as you can see, the example they have given you, the Saudi Arabian government supports putting tablets in public schools. That is taken from paragraph number 3. So they have written number 3 next to the answer. So you will complete this exercise in the same manner. Let us look at exercise E. Take notes on the supporting details of each paragraph in reading 2. Then read the statements, write T for true or F for false. Correct each false statement to make it true. Right, so you're going to read each statement. If you feel the statement is true, you are going to write T next to the correct answer. If you feel that the statement is false, you are going to write F next to each answer. And if it is false, correct each false statement to make it true. So if you write false next to number 1, for example, you are going to write the correct answer next to it. Let us look at exercise F. Read these sentences from reading 2, then answer the questions. Find the sentences in the reading to help you. So the first thing you have to do is you have to read these sentences from reading 2. So as you can see, these are the sentences. You need to read them. Then answer the questions. So below each sentence you will find a question. You will answer the questions in the line provided. Find the sentences in the reading to help you. So once again, you can find all of the information or all of the answers to your questions in reading number 2. So I would suggest that you read the questions first, you go back, you read reading 2 again, and then you attempt to answer the questions. That is how you will complete exercise F. Let us turn over to page 64. Okay, so that summarizes the unit. It moves on to unit 4. So in unit 4, we have the vocabulary skill, right? And so I will just zoom out for you a bit. Okay, that's not seem to be working. Okay, so we're going to look at this. Right, so page 64 is the beginning of unit 4. I'm just going to read through this. So it says unit question, does advertising help or harm us? Discuss these questions with your classmates, which you do not have to do. You can read through the questions yourself. Number 1, what items have you purchased because of an advertisement? Number 2, has an advertisement ever helped you in some way? What kind of ad was it? How did it help you? Number 3, look at the photos. Do you think there is too much advertising around us? So obviously you're going to look at the photo. Let us turn over to page number 65. So at the top of page number 65, write what you think. Exercise A. Discuss the questions in a group. Look back at your quick write on page 59 as you think about what you learned. So you are going to look at the questions. You are going to read these questions, number 1 and number 2. And you are going to look back at your quick write on page 59 and you are going to compare your answers. Let's look at number 1 and number 2. Number 1 says, some people believe tablets can cause children to become addicted to technology. Do you agree? Why or why not? Number 2, what job would you like to have in the future? Do you think you will need strong computer and technology skills to perform this job? Exercise B. Think about the unit video, reading 1 and reading 2. As you discuss the questions, then choose one question and write a paragraph in response. So you are going to choose one of the questions from number 1 or number 2. I'm going to read for you these questions. Number 1, how much control should people have over the technology they use and why? Number 2, what positive and negative effects can technology have on people's lives? So you can write your opinion on both questions. Remember, your opinion should be based on the unit video reading 1 and reading 2. Right, lastly, we're going to look at a vocabulary skill. Synonyms. Synonyms are words that have similar meanings. Learning synonyms will increase your vocabulary and will give your writing more variety. For example, people's lifestyles have changed because of new technology. People's habits and behaviors have changed because of new technology. So as you can see, the underlined words are synonyms which help to improve the writing. Below that it says, be careful when choosing synonyms because they do not always have exactly the same meaning. A synonym can have a more general meaning or a more specific meaning. General example, drivers are expected to follow the rules of the road. As you can see, we've used follow as a general example. Specific example, drivers are expected to obey the rules of the road. So obviously the word obey is a specific word that they have chosen to show you that this is a specific instruction, right? That you have to go along with. So they use the word obey. Follow is general, right? Follow is more general because it means to do what you are told. Obey is more specific because it suggests you must do what you are told. So as you can see, they even explain the meaning of general and specific. Remember, if you do not understand this, I would suggest that you play this recording again or you read through this explanation again. Below that we have exercise A. Rewrite each sentence by replacing the bold word or phrase with the correct synonym from the box. So as you can see, they have given you a box and they have given you synonyms in the box. You are going to use these particular words to complete the sentences. Number 1 is done for you. As you can see, the example is written here. You can read this example and use it as a guide on how to complete exercise A. Let us turn over to the next page. As you can see, exercise A continues up until number 6. Right, we are going to look at exercise B. Read each pair of sentences, look at the synonyms in bold, write G next to the sentence that uses a more general synonym, write S next to the one that uses a more specific synonym. So once again, if you are confused about the difference between a general synonym and a specific synonym, then I would suggest you go back and you read the vocabulary skill one more time and then attempt your answers. And then lastly, they have exercise C, go online for more practice with synonyms. So once again, if you have a Q Skills account, you can go online and you can practice this particular skill more. Right, so that wraps up your reading